my friend Clever Coin. Clever Coin is a member of the precious metal community. He's had over 1,200 subscribers. He's definitely been a beacon in this community since I've been a part of it. And I'm glad to have him on today. Today is the first time I have him on for a live stream. 1 year ago, I was on his live stream talking to him about my come up in the precious metal community. So this is an honor and pleasure to have my friend on today so you can meet him for those who are not familiar with his channel, and for those who do, to refamiliarize yourself with this great guy. I call this episode The Evolution of Clever Coin. There'll be some things that's talked about, some things that we'll learn, some things that we already know. But once again, we're talking to the one and only Clever Coin, and I can't wait for him to grace the presence of Let's Chat. Guys, I come on every Monday and Saturday on the live stream. Please check me out on Instagram, which at JT Coin Rings. Also, check my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please consider being subscribed to my channel. If you like the content, hit that like button. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified to my upcoming videos and live streams. If you'd like to be a guest on Let's Talk, Let's Chat, please hit me up at jtcoinrings@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram at jtcoinrings and DM me your time and availability. I would love to have opportunity to talk to you about your channel and what you have going on in the precious metal community. I do give out prizes during the live stream. Today will be recorded, so there'll be a special gift, but there'll be some instructions. You have to watch the live stream in order to receive it. And you'll also find out what will be given later on in the live stream. But not to delay it any further, I want to bring on today's guest, Clever Coin, and here we go. My friend, how you doing? How you feeling, Clever Coin? How you feeling today?
I'm well. I'm very well. How are you, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be on Let's Chat, man. This is an honor and pleasure. I think I told you this earlier today that I rewatched our interview that we did a year ago, and you gave me opportunity to be on your platform, and I was ever grateful for that. So I had to reach out to you to this week to get you, because I've seen your post on Instagram, and I said, man, it'll be good to talk to the Clever One. So I thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation on Let's Chat.
No, dude, thank you so much for having me, man. I know I've been away from YouTube for a minute now, but I'm still active. I'm still active on my Instagram. I know you see me there. I just haven't had the chance that I used to for YouTube, but I'm going to use this as a crossroads to get my butt back on YouTube, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate you and everyone that's watching. Shout out to all you guys.
Man, that's what's up. For those who may not know, who is Clever Coin?
Clever Coin is a person, a human being that walks the earth just like every one of you. I'm 26 years old. I think I'm a little young for being in this. At least that's what the analytics tell me, right?
For the analytics.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just a guy that likes to learn and likes to do things differently and just try to get information from all over the place. And that's how, I stumble across silver being a different sort of investment. When everyone goes right, I like to go left. That's the kind of like the person that I am. So that's me.
That's awesome. What made you get into precious metals?
Precious metals. So I was getting towards that age where I did start investing more, like, a more substantial amount.
Okay.
And I ran across this guy named Peter Schiff. He's a libertarian dude. He has like a giant wealth fund. He manages millions. So he was saying that, putting money in the stock market, he kind of tricked me a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Like we were talking a little bit before. But it's like bittersweet because I did learn so much to put money in silver, and he was saying silver and gold. He's more of a gold guy,
Mhm.
but I found out through him gold is a really good place to put your money. And then since I don't have that much money to be buying ounces of gold, or
Right.
I found silver because the premiums for golds are higher for like the smaller amount. So and with the silver ratio, and people that things that people hear about all the time, is kind of how I stumbled upon silver. And the community, man, the community just grabs a hold of you and just doesn't want to let you go. Uh, yeah.
I definitely I can definitely attest to that as well. So, what made you want to start making videos?
Videos, honestly, I think you were mentioning my channel started in 2015, but I didn't upload anything till 2017. I feel like that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Hmm.
Clever Coin is kind of like a different, like there's no silver, there's no, coin. Like it's like there's like a lot of silver this, silver that. Clever Coin is about just expanding your reach financially. Like it can be in any sense. That's why like my girlfriend and I kind of came up with it. She's gonna take full credit for it, of course, if you ask her. But it's just like I like finances. Before I got into silver, I was really heavy into single stocks. So coin to me resembles money, right?
Right.
Money can be from different sorts of things, like gold, silver, or stocks, or side business, or a big business. It's just like clever coin, trying to find way to make a buck,
Hmm.
uh, and that's kind of how it goes.
Awesome. So, coming up, the name was given to you by your girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you know what? And we'll keep that story and never change it. Give her that credit. I think it's an awesome name. I always say the clever one. And like I said, I'm going to name this title "The Evolution of Clever Coin" because during the time I know things have changed, and you learned a lot on your journey. Being 26 years old, you said that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Man, you got a lot of wisdom, my friend. So, in your journey in making videos, what's one of the things you've learned? Say 2017, your first upload, and your introduction to the community. What have you learned thus far?
I've learned a lot. I think what people want to see is that full stack video.
Hmm.
That's what gets people excited.
Excited. Hmm.
Yeah. But I learned that this community is great. I learned that you make friends. I learned that people care about you in this community. I learned this community isn't too toxic, except for maybe some people that we don't have to name. Um, but yeah, man, no, it's been great. It's been a great community. I've also learned that from having conversations from people like you, that like your voice does matter and your voice is different. So it's not going to waste when you upload a video. And there's people out there that want to hear your information, and your situation is different, so it's worth putting out there. And I feel like I kind of forgot about that these past few months when I haven't been uploading.
So just to touch on that right there, when you started YouTube, basically started the page 2015, start uploading 2017. What was your message? What did you want to get out?
I think I didn't really have a message. If you watch my first video, I think it's more of a like help. I was asking for help. I'm not a type of person that thinks to know it all. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm smart enough to know what I don't know, and I ask people that have been there or that have done it. So the first video I made was just, I think, showing my stack and
Uh-huh.
asking people. When I made that video, I didn't know that there was like a full community, so it was just like maybe someone will watch this and they'll give me tips and
Uh-huh.
tricks of like how to better my stack, and maybe I shouldn't do this or do that. And I learned a ton from that. And that's kind of when I started like getting into the rabbit hole of watching, great channels out there that actually have been doing this for a while, not just, 6 months when I started, right? They've been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of when you start picking up cool things from them. And my mom has a saying in Spanish. I'll just translate it in English. It's like, take the good from anything, right? Leave
Mm-hmm.
the bad. You can get something good from anyone, and just take that and use it, and have that in your pocket ready to go. So I learned a ton of good things from the community.
Uh-huh. You know what? That's an awesome, awesome motto. That's awesome statement. I have to hear it in Spanish, so let it rip. Let me hear it in Spanish for our Spanish speaking subscribers.
What is that, like 2%? How many people here speak Spanish? No. Saca lo bueno de todo y deja lo malo. So take the good and leave the bad.
Awesome, awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. So coming into the community, you learned this. You wanted to put out this message. You didn't really know what you wanted to do, how you wanted to present it. You know that the community is the stacking community, um, and you know they are definitely excited by seeing what people have. You know, especially on the silver scale. So once you got into the videos, you started to make leadway. So how did you make that decision to change the direction of what you initially wanted to do when you got into YouTube?
I think it kind of goes like two routes, right? Like same thing. A lot of people do similar things on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I started taking YouTube. I mean, technically I started taking YouTube outside, outside unboxings, hikes. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
live in California, beautiful weather, expensive.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so I have the luxury of 300 something days out of the week having sun to go outside and film. So I just took that and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and also I don't got that kind of money to be putting, $1,000 of silver a month to have like this giant stack video.
Right.
So you kind of you have to play with the cards that you're dealt in life, and I like going outside. I like being active.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided to mix both of those.
How did you develop your strategy early on when dealing with silver? What was your strategy, if you can tell us?
Strategy was I don't know. At first, at very early on, I didn't really have a strategy. It was just like disposable income, and instead of
Mm-hmm.
putting in a savings account, and the conscious choice was to, and this is where I did a big mistake in my opinion. Now looking
Mm-hmm.
back at it, I had a few $1,000s in single stock companies. Like I think Disney was at 90, AMD was at like $9,
Mm-hmm.
950, and I had a few $1,000s, and hearing certain people talk saying that there's going to be a market correction or even worse, a market crash or doom and gloom. I sold all that and put it into silver,
Mm.
which was a big mistake, because AMD, I think currently right now is trading like $49, almost $50. Who knows what Disney's at? So it's like kind of we can get there eventually, but like the market is wrong in my opinion. I think the market is wrong, but it can be wrong for who knows how long.
Right.
So we can't know what's going to happen. So I didn't really have a strategy. I just knew that I thought silver and gold were like the beacon of hope, and that's where all my answers were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and learning back at it now, and that wasn't really the case. I think there's definitely a place for investing in precious metals, and I'm always going to be investing in precious metals. I still have precious metals,
Mm-hmm.
so I think yeah, I didn't really have a strategy in the beginning.
So basically, not having a strategy, but you knew the good thing was to put your money into precious metals such as silver. Did you have any gold at the time?
Yeah. Not when I started early on, but
Mm-hmm.
later on, yeah, I have some gold. Yeah, now.
Awesome. So what changed your mind? What book? What information? When you realized that the stocks did go up, doom and gloom was not in sight. What was the turning point?
I think it's not that doom and gloom isn't in sight, or like, because the fundamentals of the economy are so shaky, and I understand that
Mm-hmm.
logically, but the market doesn't react logically. It kind of reacts emotionally. So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of where you have to understand your risk tolerance and where you have to go ahead and figure out what's best for you in your situation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm 26. I'm pretty young. Like if I invest heavy in the stock market, let's say it crashes 50%, like, and I put, let's say, $10,000, $15,000, I lose half of my money. It's not too much of a big deal unless like it actually all goes to crap. And I know there's people in the community that actually believe that it's gonna happen, and they could be right. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say who's right or wrong, but it's
Right.
just what's your risk tolerance. And I feel like I came in from a negative mindset. It was like, what's the word I'm looking for? The mindset of just kind of fear almost, and
Gotcha.
that was a big mistake. The mindset that, oh, it could all go away. Like, oh, if I put my money in this, it can blow up, and I'm gonna be good.
Mhm.
But success in life and to get like places in life takes sacrifice. It takes time. It's not like, there's no one quick fix for it. It's complicated. Life is gray. It's not black or white. So that's kind of, it was like a shift in a mindset. It wasn't really a bug. It was just like growing as a person that made me realize that, hey, like, I don't think my mindset was properly like,
Mhm.
I didn't start with my mindset in the right spot when it came to precious metals.
That's a good point, and I'm glad you bring that up because I think that the fear, people use fear to direct people's attention and people's decisions. And we only can make decisions from sound information. And it sounded to me like you observed that, hey, this is not happening the way I thought. I changed my direction on this, and now it changes your approach. And I think I started the same way, so I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah,
I,
no,
I
sorry. Yeah, no, sorry
mhm,
to cut you off there, but and the word I was looking for was scarcity mindset, right? The mind,
scarcity. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So, but no, I've heard a lot of people that have been into the situation that like
Mhm.
like you mentioned. So that's so fascinating to me. And like I said, like I knew that there's certain things. Like I knew that silver was low. I got in. Most of it on average is probably like around 14 bucks, 14.50. So like I knew that like that's a good safe place to go in.
Right.
Uh, but I think it's like 18 something now. But it just depends on your situation, and that's the beauty of life. Like if I do something, it might not
Mhm.
necessarily be what's best for you, and vice versa. So that's kind of where your own research and your own choices matter. Not what I do, not what you do, but what's
Mhm.
best for the person watching or listening to this.
And I agree with that. When I came into it, the precious metal community, I came in the doom and gloom, not understanding it really. I thought it was a secret that was kept from me, and I thought that this information was the holy grail. So I came in like, oh man, I'm on to something. This is something that wasn't told to me. I need to jump in. Once I've gotten in, I realized, okay, all right, I need to now put some type of parameters to this, or I'm gonna step out of bounds. So that's one thing I looked at, and I think I kind of now realize that at the 1 year being in, so I'm more responsible with my decisions when it comes to precious metal. Number one, because it's my business now, making coin rings out of precious metals, and number two, a good way to save a percentage of my income money that's coming in. So now this new approach, as I call the evolution of Clever Coin, what's next for you in your endeavors of YouTube?
YouTube, that's the thing. I don't know. There's like a lot of things that I have like in the back burner. There's things that I would want to do. I just don't. I guess it's like I don't want to come to the community and not do what I used to do before, I guess. There's like a lot of things that I like to do. There's like I would like to, hopefully get people outside more. And I didn't realize that I
Mm-hmm.
did have a small impact, as small as it was a real impact of people that actually like would go outside. Like I saw certain
Yep.
people message me like, "Hey, yeah, I've been going outside," and they take pictures of their stuff outside. So it's very interesting. I would like to do something like get people to do a 5K. Like, hey, whoever signs up and does a 5K, maybe we can like do something with like just being active, being outside, living. Because something else too. There's a lot of doom and gloom people that have a bunch of food, a bunch of silver, everything they need for a situation like that, but
Right.
they might not be in the best physical shape, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you need to be physically active. You need to be outside. You need to take care of yourself. Uh, yeah, so I would like to do something in that lane, but I don't know how that would be received by the community. Books, I love to read. I'm an avid reader.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for you guys that don't like to read, I'll give you guys my secret. It's called Audible.
That's right.
I probably have over 40, 50 books. I've
Yeah.
been there since 2015, and every month I get a book. So yeah, it's $14 a month, but
Yeah.
you learn a lot. I would like to do something in that lane. I don't know, man. I don't know for YouTube what's ahead of me, but I do know that I need to come back, and I do miss it. And people like you really brought me out of my shell. I'm kind of nervous right now. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, but I mean, it feels like home, as strange as that sounds.
Right, and I say welcome back home, Clever Coin. I think you are a very important member of the precious metal community, and some of the things that you brought into this conversation today, health is wealth, and that is a good spin. With your experience in the health field, personal trainer, also that beautiful weather you have out there in California, you did inspire a lot, and you still do inspire a lot. So bringing on the book club, I think that's an awesome opportunity. It's something that's not being done that I can see in our community, but I think it's needed. I think that you definitely get support from that. Also, with your other ideas when it comes down to the stock market, precious metals, just updating us on those trends that as you see it, as the way
Right.
that you can explain it will be great. That's just my opinion, but I think that a person like yourself being young, that speaks to a group that needs to hear this, because I believe that stackers and people who collect coins is a older crowd is what I hear, and mainly are men. But if you find a way to talk to the millennials or get people involved and make them be more serious minded on this, I think it'd be a good opportunity. Um, being a businessman, how is financial freedom important to you?
That's kind of like the main thing that got me going towards like being, in business. It's just controlling your hours. But I'm gonna be real with you guys, dude. Like, it's hard because when you work for someone and they're
Hmm.
paying you to be there from, let's say, 9 to 5, like, guess who's gonna be there from 9 to 5? You are, because if not, you're not gonna get paid.
Hmm.
But when you have the luxury of like making your own schedule, if you're not disciplined, that can bite you in the butt. And that's kind of where I've been the past few years, like just getting by, growing a little bit, not putting in all the work that you can put in to grow fully. So it is nice, but you have to make sure you have the discipline. If not, you're just gonna be, working in your business and not on your business. And there's a huge difference between that. So yeah, I think it's very, very interesting that a lot of people complain about the 9 to 5, but I think there's definitely a lot of discipline, a lot of structure that is needed to start a business, or become an entrepreneur. And I kind of hate that word, right? Like an entrepreneur, or like it's like, yeah, it's just hard, man. It's
Uh-huh.
hard, but yeah, it that's what it started for me. Like, my girlfriend's a teacher, which kind of sucks because I mean
Why is
she
that?
because look at so she gets a bunch of holiday time off, but
Right.
it's the holiday season when it's everyone travels. So what I like about my schedule is like on a random week in April, I can take 2 weeks off to go somewhere, and it's gonna be empty. No one's gonna be there.
Right.
Right? So I and from a young age, I kind of structured my life to have the freedom to take random days off during the week and go somewhere when it's not crowded, when it's empty, not in peak season. But
Uh-huh.
now my girlfriend's a teacher, so the only times that I can go with her, which is of course I want to spend my time with her,
Right.
is when it's like Christmas or Thanksgiving or
Right.
like spring break when everyone is traveling. So that's kind of a little funny thing about my life, how she had to be a teacher.
Well, I was married to a teacher for 10 years, and the benefit was that she could take the summers off
Yeah.
and, and did have the holidays. So it was no, it's pretty good. If you
Yeah, no,
plan well, you can take some time off during the summer months, so you can do a lot of travel. I know she'll like that. So
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'm just
yeah,
giving her a hard time. I'm super happy that she found something that she enjoys that she's good at. She's very good at. So that's
te-
awesome.
teachers is a being a teacher is a great superpower. I,
Yes, sir.
I love teachers. I did 2 years as a phys ed teacher for a charter school here in Baltimore, and it was probably one of the most important jobs I've ever had in my life.
Oh, I would like to apologize for your Ravens. I'm sorry. My condolences. Uh,
Oh,
I'm
clever
sorry about that.
corn, clever corn. You didn't have to do that.
I'm so sorry, Dina. I didn't have to put you on blast like that, but for real, man, I was running for you guys. I was shooting for you guys, and it hurt. It hurt. It hurt me, so I
Um,
can't imagine what you're feeling. I'm sorry.
yeah, anything in this city um, that allows us to smile is welcome, and the Ravens did an excellent job this year. I'm looking forward to next year. I'm
No,
looking,
you guys got the MVP, man. You guys got the MVP.
yeah,
So
definitely a change. Definitely a change. Let me tell you, I got a question.
yes,
5 steps to stacking and investing. 5 steps to stacking and investing. Give me your five.
my five. The truth or what people want to hear.
The truth.
The truth. Okay.
You can't handle the truth.
No,
You
no debt. Okay, no consumer debt.
got you.
So if you have a credit card and you owe, $3,000, $500 with a 16% interest, or God forbid, a 26% interest card, what are you doing putting money in silver, right? Like you have to focus on what comes first, and that is, I'm not saying pay off your house, pay off if your car is, you owe $10,000 in your car, but you're paying, 1% low interest rate, then I understand. But like if you have high interest rate credit cards, high interest rate loans, like you gotta deal with your stuff first. And once you get that out of the way, then go ahead and do what you got to do with silver. And I think 10% is probably like a good percent of allocating for your investment. Put some money in a Roth IRA, put some money in a 401k. Put some money in a savings account. But it just there's no 5 steps because my steps can be different than your 5 steps, right? But it's just super easy. Just make sure you have no consumer debt,
Right.
and then figure out what's best for you and stick to it, right? So if that's 10%, 15%, it depends on your age, it depends on your goals. What if you want to, like me, like I'm hopefully buying a house in Southern California next year, so I need 80,000 down. Like it's like you need cash, or let's say you want to start a business, or you have a wedding to plan, or it just depends on the situation
Right.
at hand. That's going to dictate how much you can put. But I think 10% of it is pretty a good number. But
Okay.
yeah, I know that's not the answer you were looking for,
Oh, that's
but
fine. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's the real answer, and I love the fact that you answered that way because I think that people forget you can't move ahead if you have something dragging you. You know what I'm
oh, I
saying?
like that. I
You
like that.
have to drop that stuff, and we have to get debt under control. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and before we even look to doing precious metals, what else would you say? 5 steps to stack and invest. What else? What would be the second thing?
Kind of like figure out a game plan. Like, there's so many ways to invest in silver. Like, you can buy cheap generic, you can buy, government minted, you can buy super high premium, you can buy vintage silver bars. It
Hmm.
all depends on, your risk tolerance and what your goals are. And that's kind of like the thing. There's so many ways to put money into silver. You can buy, you know, pre 33 gold coins. You can buy beautiful, super high polished, brand spanking new Australian Perth mint coins that are like way over spot, but there's only 500 minted. So maybe you
Right.
can flip that in 2 years. So it just depends on the strategy. So there's no one right way. So like, let me give you an example. I sold a lot of my generic silver. I
Okay.
got in like at 14. I sold it for around 17 something.
Okay.
Um, and I haven't sold any of my American Eagles. I haven't sold any of my gold, and I haven't sold any of my high premium stuff, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna hold on to the high premium stuff until maybe 5 years, 10 years. I don't know. Whenever I feel like I need to sell it,
Hmm.
there's certain coins that were only 25,000 minted, but that's a risk, right? Because
Right.
maybe in 10 years, no one's going to be collecting them. No one wants them. No one, there's no interest in them. So, I mean, I understand that. But for me, it just didn't make sense to sell those coins now. Same thing with the government minted stuff. Like I'm keeping that for like if the thing hits the fan, right? I don't know if I can curse or not, but
Right.
uh,
Good.
yeah. So I'm just keeping that. I'm forgetting about that, and then like I do have a lot of big changes coming in my life that I have to be saving cash for. But
Right.
eventually, when I start, settling down again, I'm gonna be buying silver again. And when I'm at that point in life, I'm gonna go ahead and decide what's best for me and my family, and move forward with that.
I mean, I tell you one thing. That's what you're talking about. You're planning on you're doing. You are setting the sail, and you're doing a good job in making sure that stuff happens. And I love the conversation because I think that you have to adjust depending on what's happening in your life. You shouldn't be so rigid that you break. I feel that you have failed because you didn't meet that goal. You are doing exactly what needs to be done for a person who's about to buy a house, a person who's about to get married, a person who's about to look at how I'm going to set my life up for the next 5 to 10 years. And you have to make these necessary changes. So I agree with you 100%. And it's definitely good to have this type of conversation. When it comes down to, you know, collecting or stacking bullion, if I know that you're going to be cutting that out to meet your goals, but do you believe in numismatic coins?
Yeah, yeah. It just depends on again. It's like that's going to be the moral of the story. Like I have some pretty expensive U.S. currency,
Hmm.
old stuff. You know, I don't know if it's going to be worth more in the future, but I know I got it for a good price. I know
Uh-huh.
that they're going for more expensive than what I got them, but is the shit going to hit the fan
Hmm.
and no one's going to want the piece of paper anymore in 10 years? That could
Right.
be the case. That could be the case, but I don't know. But sure, dude, like what was that? The Palladium coin that we flipped, the
Yeah.
community, Shout
Right.
out to International Stacker, dude. He put us on that. Like
Yeah.
I made whatever $600 or on top of what I paid for it. So, but again, it just depends on your goal. Like if you want to keep track of it, if you want, or if you just want to stack it and forget it. It just depends on your personality, on your risk tolerance. But yeah, for sure, numismatic is a thing. I mean, clearly it is. People buy stuff like those vintage bars, those OPM bars, old Engelhard bars. You're paying like $300, $400 an ounce.
Yeah.
Um, but people collect them. So are you a collector? Are you a stacker? Oh, I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I know that Eli makes fun of me all the time. He says I'm a collector, stacker, but more on the collector edge. And I like, hey, I do. I love coins. I love history. So certain things I do collect because it's just me. But one thing a reason why I asked you that is because I see that you put up a level of defense. When me and Eli talk about a level, putting up our soldiers, we put cash, generic silver, you know, and also like maybe our collectibles, things that we love. If anything ever happens, the cash goes first, then we'll sell off our silver, all our generics, but we'll leave those things that we probably find dear. Like I have a love for Haitian coins and world coins. So that's something that I may just pass on. But I believe what you did with the generic silver. If I have $10,000 worth of generic silver, that's supposed to go first. And then I'll have my government bullion, my American silver eagles and things like that that may stay a little longer. So important for me to do is make sure that I have that line of defense before I liquidate anything.
Yeah, and it has to be a conscious choice from the
Conscious
start,
choice.
right?
That's right.
For
So
sure, for sure.
I buy certain things. This is my love, but this right here, I buy maybe my eagles. This is for later on. So that's how I kind of do it. I may not be as aggressive as everyone, but it's based off of what I can do. So that's why I brought that up because I know that in meeting the goal that you have for next year, you have to do certain things, and I know that you put up a line of defense. Um, Going back to the 5 steps of stacking and investing, We did talk about the book club. What books do you suggest to a newcomer to the precious metal community that could help them in getting their mind right, so we don't make the mistakes that we made coming in?
Book that I would recommend for new stacker, Precious Metal Investing for Dummies.
Okay.
I actually got that for Christmas. It was like a gag gift. No, I don't know. There's this. I think it's called Fake.
Okay.
The Robert Kiyosaki, his latest book.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty interesting read.
Okay.
Just be careful. Just be careful with with that mindset that we were talking about earlier on. Kind of read it with a grain of salt
Mm-hmm.
and question it. Don't just take it for facts. Like, do your own research after, because you can get into that. Get in that scarcity mindset that we were talking about earlier on in the podcast, in the show. So you just got to be careful. But there's a lot of good books out there. Peter Schiff has a good one. For precious metals in particular, right?
Right.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
or there's like a lot of great channels that you can look up that do research. But yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a good thing. I think it's important to kind of share that information, to kind of limit the potholes that a person behind me or someone I'm telling about precious metals to know. I think like I tell my sister, and what I've done recently, as birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, what I do is I give out precious metal. Um, Today I picked up some 2020s. It's a gift for, I had some in the background. I picked up a gift today for my youngest daughter, and also something up for my sister, just for them to start. It's for them to have to put away. Since it's not money that they'll go out and buy something with immediately, just tell them, hey, think about precious metals. And some other things that I wind up doing for kids, cousins and stuff like that. I start doing like little things like this,
Oh, that's so sick.
and I would get them a little pop, and then in there would be the hawk corn, just to kind of get them involved. They're too young to buy things for themselves, but I want to kind of give them that bug in their ear, like, hey, think about preserving your wealth, at least a small percentage in precious metals. And I went and got the new Venom coin to put in my daughter's collection today. So certain things I do to put in the ear of the young, because I don't want them to make some of the mistakes that I made growing up and not putting money away. What's some of the things you learned that you feel secure about in the stock market?
A stock market secure? I don't think that they kind of go hand in hand. I think I think the market can be wrong, and the market can be wrong for longer than I can hold out to be right, if that makes any sense.
Makes sense.
Like, right? So, stocks are individual stocks, right? Are a little bit more higher risk, but if you know what you're doing, then there's definitely money to be made there.
Okay.
But again, you have to have that conscious choice that it's like a house of cards. But
Mhm.
we're talking about millions of people whose lives are kind of like tied to certain companies. There's people that get paid with stock options. There's people that so like if a big company would go down, uh hundreds of thousands of people will be affected by that, right? So I think individual stocks, are for people that have a lot of time and are willing to research, in the individual company, research the CEO, research the top people, research, the financial records, which takes
Mhm.
time. So that's definitely not for everyone. And again, like, I'm not telling anyone what to do, but there's some mutual funds, or there's like an index fund that you can invest in. I think that should be a higher percentage than what you put into silver, even though, like, yeah, we're breaking record highs, and silver is relatively low, but it's all perception, right? Like, it's just depending how much time you have to invest in a chat. Like, let's say you're 75 years old,
Mhm.
right? Your health isn't too well, right? So and let's say you have $50,000, you know
Mhm.
would you put that on Like, would you put $50,000 in silver as a 75-year-old man?
No.
You know, like, well, you probably do maybe some bonds or maybe like a CD. Like, it just depends on what you. I mean, how much? Sorry, my girlfriend is outside of the window dancing.
A good distraction.
Yeah, yeah, good try. Yeah. So it just depends. But let's say you are, a 35-year-old man and you have the same 50,000. Is it worth putting like a percentage of that into silver and gold? Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Or
Yeah.
let's say like you're a 21-year-old, or maybe like you, what you're doing with your daughter, I think is super awesome. Let's say when she's 18, she has a few ounces of silver, and let's say should she put some money in silver? Yeah, like it just
Yeah.
depends on the
Hmm.
situation
Gotcha.
that it's in hand. So the same thing with stocks. Like it depends on your risk tolerance. But for sure, as long as you're not just leaving cash in the bank, making 0.1% or
Right.
0.01%, um, yeah, don't do that. You're better off, definitely way, way better off in silver.
Good. I mean, I'm glad you said that because I want to at least to my next question. The question is how to save $1,000 in precious metals in a year. What's your suggestion on that?
Okay, so honestly, I've had this on the back of my mind for about 6 months, dude.
Okay.
And this is a pitch. Let me know what you think. All right. No one's watching this, right? Okay, look, having having like an ebook or a series calling it "Lose Pounds, Gain Ounces."
Mm.
So teaching people how to like to eat healthy, eat well, stop eating out, and how to save that money and buy ounces of silver. So it's a win-win, right? You're losing weight,
Brilliant.
you're
Brilliant.
you're you're becoming a healthier, and you're saving that extra $1,000 a year because you're not eating out as much. Instead of going to do something sedentary that you have to pay, for like
Right.
watch a movie, or you go for a hike, you go for just changing up the mindset a little bit. Instead of taking a
Hmm.
taxi, you walk. It's just so many ways that you can go ahead and just cut money here and there
Hmm.
to go ahead and actually save more money. There's this book that I reread. Ramit Sethi, I think, is the author. It's called "I'll Teach You to Be Rich." He came out with that book 10 years ago. I read it. So this is also, I'm just gonna go on a tangent really quick. Like
Hmm.
the beauty about life is like you're always in a different space, so you can learn something new. You can relearn something that you already knew, but you just weren't in the right mindset. You just weren't in the right place at that
That's
point in your
right.
life to actually apply the information, right? So
Right.
that's kind of what happened with this book. He came out with a revised edition, and he's like, "Hey, if you love collecting silver, uh, collecting, not stacking. Like you love this certain year, you love this certain coin, go for it, dude. Like go for it. But just cut out whatever doesn't bring joy to your life. Cut out whatever doesn't make you happy. So let's say you don't mind driving a less expensive car, you don't mind not having cable, and you don't mind eating at home. Okay, how much money are you saving right there? Boom, put a significant amount of that savings into the thing that you're passionate about. And
Mm.
there, it's like a good way to be guilt free, um, and enjoying your life to a higher level. But we kind of get like stuck with these status items, like, oh, I need a certain car, I need a certain house, I need a certain like look. But no, it's just BS. Just do what you're passionate about. Do what brings you joy, and do that hard, and go all in on that. When
Mm.
cut everything else that doesn't mean anything to you.
That's awesome, man. And you know what? That's a perfect, perfect subject right there. See how we kind of just ease into the evolution of clever coin? We just came up with you came up with an awesome topic, and I think that that would do volumes for the precious metal community, and to kind of share your approach. So how to lose pounds to gain ounces.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. And I promise you, I'll be there to check that out because I definitely need to lose the pounds, and I don't mind gaining a couple ounces of the shiny stuff here. So,
yeah. Nice, nice.
so let me know when that's ready to get out. That's awesome. Um, Clever Coin. Is there anything you'd like to share before we leave the chat?
No, no, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, JT. I mean, I feel like you are an integral part of this community of
Thank you.
And then I love your rings. Hopefully that blows up for you, man, because I know you're working hard. I just want to thank everyone that subscribed to my channel. And if you're still there, thanks. I hope to come back one day.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm going to use this as a catalyst to get my ass back on YouTube.
Yes, man. We
But
need
for
you.
the meantime, I'm on Instagram, man. I've seen a lot of progress on Instagram, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just different pictures. I get a lot of these bullying companies giving me props for the pictures that I take. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them even take it and post it on their page.
That's
They
awesome.
don't ask for permission, but that's cool. Uh, yeah, man. I'm on there. Get on that Instagram. DM me. I answer there all the time, super quick. I'm pretty bad with emails, but if you DM me on Instagram, I'll answer it really quick. But I hope to come back. I hope to have you on my channel, JT.
I
Uh,
will. I will
yeah,
be
yeah,
there. I will be there quickly, man. Because I definitely have. I mean, I love you, man. I think you are giving me the opportunity to be on your platform when I was just coming up in this. It just always been there as a friend. I still have your clever coin um, bar that was made.
yeah. That was so
Um,
sick, dude. That's a banger.
never,
I'm glad you
never.
got that one.
Yes, yes, I love it. Never get rid of that. So I definitely want to share that as well. Um, for the giveaway today, I want to make sure the book that we talked about earlier, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. I think it's important to give away this book, and I am going to give away a piece of constitutional silver as well. But I want to give this book because I think that we need to start getting the things that change our approach, change our mind, and put us in the right direction. I haven't read this book, and I think it will be something different to do in the precious metal community by giving also the silver, but also giving something to feed their mind. So I'm definitely going to send this book out, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Tell me about it, if you have read it. So
Yeah,
tell me.
no, that's a book that you probably need to listen or read like at least once a year. It's kind of like a mix on the War of Art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Art of War, excuse me.
Art of War. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how that's a very popular book. But this one just pretty much there's one word in it, and it's called resistance. And resistance is laziness, it's fear, it's insecurity. That's what resistance is, and it
Mm-hmm.
kind of shows you how to combat that resistance. So it's very very good read, dude. It's a quick book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some author guy, a writer that clearly, but like his career as a writer. So it's just showing that like how writer's block is a thing. So it's definitely like I don't know if anyone in this community has read it, but it's probably one of my favorite ones just because it's a quick read. It's a few bucks on Amazon, or just get it on Audible. I have it. I have both the physical and Audible. So yeah, it's very interesting, and it's just showing how resistance is a demon, and whenever you lose to it, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until it just takes over your life. So I'm really interested in people's feedback from that book. Maybe it has that same impact that it had on me on them, or if not, I would like to know regardless.
That'd be awesome. Well, the rules and regulations will be in the description of this video. I would like everyone who watched this video, wait till the live stream is off. We leave a comment, and I will do the random comment picker for YouTube, and I'll put the winner of this contest or of this GAR on my Instagram and also the community tab on YouTube. Clever Corn, thank you so much, man, for taking out the time to be part of Let's Chat. It's definitely a long time coming, and I appreciate you, man, for sharing this. It's an excellent interview, and man, and tell them where they can find you again.
Yeah, Clever Coin, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And also, you know me. Another 50 cents are gonna be given away.
Awesome,
Constitutional Silver on my Instagram. I'm gonna do a cool post promoting this that I was on your show, and I'll give another 50 bucks, and I'll give away a copy of that book too because I really do think that's a really good book.
awesome,
So we'll talk after, and we'll find a good way to do it. But that's gonna be on Instagram. You guys get one on Instagram and one on YouTube. So thank you so much, man.
awesome, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah, take care.
All right. Take care, guys. That was my man, Clever Corn. Thank you so much for taking out the opportunity to check out Let's Chat. You know what I say, that it's always an opportunity to learn and talk to some great members of the community. We just got to make the platform ready to chat about it, to share each other's ideas and what's happening in the future. So thank you once again for coming to another episode of Let's Chat. Take care. This is JT Cornring. Check me out on Instagram at JT Cornrings. Also, every Monday and Wednesday on my YouTube channel. Check my videos out. And do not forget to join me every Sunday on the Urban Lifestyle channel on Silver Talk with me and my good friend Eli. Take care, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. And look out for this giveaway. Leave your comments below. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that like button. It helps the channel out. Take care. Have a good day. Peace.